So this is Angelina, and this is Akasha.
Fast, I want to do my objective fast. I don't see anything wrong with this. You know, it's just, I feel like a lot of killers have that mentality.
I was gonna say, I'm no longer. Cheez-Its. You do not need a box, child.
Ideas for sure. In this day and age and everything on the internet, even if like maybe you were the originator of kale chips, to pay this much money.
Hello, my name is Michael Tuner, I'm James Book's Corner. I'm about to leave. We are starting a weekly vlog. This is where I type out reading and writing. Writing-wise, we're finishing GSR Book 2. That is the goal to finish it today. Reading-wise, we have about 6% left of City of Heavenly Fire, so we're going to finish that while I'm at work. I actually think it's less than that. I think maybe it's like a chapter. I don't know. I declared it done, but we're going to finish it. And then I think we're going to jump into Fate Breaker by Victoria Aveyard, which is the third and final book in the Realm Breaker trilogy, and I'm just like highly obsessed with this author, highly obsessed with everything that she does, so I really want to read this, and then I want to read her entire Red Queen series. Today, to kind of boost myself a little bit in this December readathon that I'm doing, I'm going to read 3 of these. For fun. Possibly. I'm going to take all 3 with me. Alright, that's the plan. I'm off to work. I work for 4 hours today, which is why I'm starting this vlog today, because technically I don't technically start work until tomorrow, but my goal today is to finish the GSR. That's the goal. Hello, welcome back. I'm going to quickly come in here and update you guys on this vlog. Essentially, I have done a lot of reading today. Unintentionally, like, a lot of reading, but I've read 4.5 books. Finished the book, read 3, in the middle, half of another one. So let's go ahead and talk about them. The first set is going to be very simple, very easy to run through, and that is the 3 other books I was going to read for my 72-hour readathon, which is the Attack on Titans. Now, if you know, in that video, I also finished the Empire in that video. I slightly lied, like I said, I had like half a chapter left or something when I went to bed last night, and I was just like, I'm just going to finish it today when I'm at work. Not a big deal. Treated it as such. I hope that's fine with everybody involved as well, for the little bit of fibbing. But I did read 19, 20, and 21 for Attack on Titans. This is a 4.25. This is a 5. And this one was also like a 4.25. This one just has one particular moment in it that's like one of my favorite moments in the entire show. An entire Attack on Titans lore. Levi moment, that's all I'll say. Those are the 3 that I read. Next, I finished City of Fire, which is upstairs, so I won't hold it up. And we'll put it on screen. That was also a 5. Unshockingly, it was a 5 before. Like, I finished it. I just knew it was a 5, period. Just one of those books that's like fucking perfect. Of course, it's a 5. Moving forward, I also started The Wild Robot. Unintentionally read 70% of it while I was shopping for groceries tonight. Could have took me a bit longer, and I got a bit distracted in several different areas of the store. So I read 70% of The Wild Robot. I can say this much as The Wild Robot is my 4th favorite movie of the year this year. I cried through 90% of that, and it was beautiful. It was everything that like you could ever want in anything. Like, it's like I think like a definition of a perfect animated movie, in my opinion. I know some people won't agree with that statement, and you know what, you do you, sweetie, I don't care. I, on the other hand, do feel this way. I feel this way quite aggressively, actually, weirdly enough. I gave it a 5. It was beautiful. The book is not as good, but I would recommend it for great audiobook listeners, and also because it is a middle grade and it does skew a bit younger, and how it's details such as death and things so matter-of-factly that I think it could really speak true to a younger audience as well. Could not recommend more. I don't think it's going to be a 5-star read. I think it's more like a 3.75 if I'm really being objective about it. This book wasn't written for me. I'm not the target audience, and all those things do play an account, even if in my brain I still think that it could be a bit stronger in some areas, and I guess maybe because I have a visual medium to go off of it, I just think the visual medium is a bit better. But also, it does seem like as we're ramping up, I thought maybe the first book was the first movie, then they have a trilogy to go off of. I don't know if that's necessarily the case. I think maybe they grab bits and pieces of the other 2, as there's still quite a bit that's supposed to happen, and it hasn't happened. But there's also a lot of emotional moments, in my opinion, that don't hit as hard here as they did in the movie. Plus, the movie adds a bit more conflict in several areas, and I think the added conflict was beneficial for me. Was it beneficial to the project? Obviously, I think so. As a purist, people probably don't think so, but I did. All right, that being said, beautiful movie. You can rent it now. Book is also great, obviously. I will probably end up finishing it tonight. I have to unpack groceries, pick up a bit. Speaking of cats, you're wondering, where are they? I bring them like a shit ton of groceries, so they're in their bedroom, but they'll be let out here relatively soon. I finished The Wild Robot. I gave it a 3.75. I would highly recommend. It kind of ends where the movie ends, but it kind of doesn't, and I'm really curious to read the sequel. I did not realize, so I originally put all three of these on hold as soon as I saw the movie. I was like, I have to read these. I'm super curious what these are like, and if they're good, they're enjoyable, and they're really short and very fast, and so I was like, I could rapid release them. Well, everybody else had the same thought in their mind. Let's read them. Even if you're not reading them for you, you're reading them for your child or whatever, so a lot of people put them on hold, and so when I got the newest one that just came out like 2 years ago or a year ago or something, it was the least one that was on held for most people. When I got that one, I actually didn't realize that it was the third book, so I went ahead and borrowed it, hoping that I'd get the first two, and then I got the second one, and then I realized it was the second book, and so I had delivered later, which is what I should have done for the third book to not leave my spot in line. Essentially, if you're on Libby and you use Libby as an app, which I recommend, you can hit deliver later, which doesn't move your spot, it just gives it to the next person, and so if you say, I don't know, 6 days or something, whoever the next copy gets available in 6 days, if there's a copy available or whatever the closest time that is, you'll be the next person in line for it. It's a very nice little feature. I should have done it for the sequels, and I did it for the second one. The third one, I'm now 14 weeks out for. I have read the first one. Depending on how the second one goes, I might end up buying the third one, saying fuck it. But I didn't finish GSR. I don't know if I'll finish GSR tomorrow. I might have to slate GSR for a Tuesday type of situation. We're going to continue to try to work on it, but I'm working with some people that I'm not 100% sure with. That being said, I will talk to you guys tomorrow after whatever my date ends up going into, as I'm not 100% sure for XYZ reasons. Hello, I want to quickly come in here and update you guys. I did end up finishing Fatebreaker by Victoria Aveyard. I'm giving it a 5-star. It was beautiful. It was what I wanted in the finale. I felt very pleasant. I felt very intense, very worried for a lot of my faves. And yeah, action-packed, heavy. I absolutely love the use of dragons in particular in this one as well. Dragons, I feel like in fantasy, in a lot of ways, are typically not so menacing, at least in the fantasy that I've read. They tend to be more kind. I mean, they have a lot of power to them because they're a dragon, but these ones really felt like true threats, which was beautiful. The stakes were extremely high, well deserved, and yeah, I just couldn't recommend the series enough. I absolutely adored the series. The first one, I think I gave like a 4.5, 4.75. The second one I gave a 5. Maybe it was even less than that, maybe 4.25. It was in the 4 range. The second one I gave a 5. The third one I also gave a 5. We have moved on to this book. I'll throw up the cover from the screen. I can't remember what it's called. I'm only like 4% into it. I have officially decided that I could probably read 29 more books. I could maybe do it. So I feel a little committed to it. Just a bit, reading this one. Then starting, what is tomorrow? Tomorrow's Thursday. That being said, I will talk to you guys all very soon. Well, I'll talk to you guys tomorrow with an update. I have no writing update whatsoever. I didn't do any writing today. I did thinking about writing, and I figured out some plans for writing. You feel I'm tired. I figured out some plans for writing this month, but I haven't like deep dive into anything in particular. Hello, let's do a reading update. I read this book. I just had the title. It left me. Your Shadow Half Remains, I think is what it's called. It is a post-apocalyptic world where if you look someone in the eyes, they try to kill you. We're following a main character who's been through some extreme trauma based on this post-apocalyptic world and having to live in this world. Plus, he's never had contact with human beings since the moment the world ended. And there's a new human that ends up getting brought into her mix and stuff. It's like The Last of Us meets Bird Box is what I was told, and I feel like it's like it's like an okay comp title. I feel like when I read The Last of Us meets something else, I don't ever actually think they mean the video game. I'm starting to think they mean TV show, and that would make so much more sense for like a lot of these comps, but I feel like they need to be more clear in The Last of Us TV show because like The Last of Us TV show is more like a nitty gritty like character piece, whereas The Last of Us video game is both, but there's more action, and this has a lot of action. Not saying that, but I don't know if it hits The Last of Us marking, in my opinion, as that's my favorite thing of all time. So like I feel like I can be a good judge. At least I hope so. I'm trying. My brain got off topic. I gave it a 4. Like I said, it follows this girl. She's going through it. her mind is a mess. It's playing visions. There's a lot of extra layers to it. I don't want to spoil too much. It's a really short book. It's more like a novella. It's like 190 pages or something. Very quick, very easy. But I'm landing on a 4. I don't feel confident about this 4, but I don't feel not confident. It's really hard when you're with a book that it's like this, because I read it one day. Writing wise, so yeah, that's that. Moving on. Writing wise, I wrote like 900 words. I wrote a scene and a half. I'll finish that next scene tomorrow and we'll jump into that third scene. I mentioned the final scene before we write the final last chapter of the book. We're in the second to last chapter, which I'm really looking forward to. Does mean that we're gonna end up starting reading River's book probably on Saturday, and I'm doing it in a weird way for purposes that I can't talk about, but that's okay. For GSR, hopefully we'll be done with it tomorrow. Fingers crossed. Oh, there's so much rewriting. I mean, I'm rewriting everything anyways. I'd say there's like a handful of lines that are from the original first draft. Everything else is basically being rewritten and cut out, rewritten and cut out in a separate document, and then being added into a new document type of thing. So like, it doesn't really fucking matter, but there's certain sections of the book that are more rewritten than other sections where I just changed everything, where this entire original scene is basically not even like a body part I can map out. It's nothing. The section I'm in right now, it's basically the problem. So I'm trying to work my way through it. It's very stressful, but I'm working it there. It's gonna be fine. I'll tell you guys tomorrow, and we'll have more updates. Hello, I want to quickly come in here and close out this vlog. It is officially the next week. We gotta say bye. Bye-bye. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you guys did, please leave a big fat thumbs up. Don't forget to comment down below. I'll talk to you all next time. Thanks for watching. Goodbye.